All right, let's get this thing rolling. Welcome on stage the beautiful Octagon girls, Carly and Luciana. We also have Mick Maynard, VP of Talent Relations. Joe Carr, Senior VP of International Affairs. Are you ready to get this started? Please make some noise for these fighters. First up in the lightweight division, Marcin Held versus Damir Hadzovic. Welcome to the stage, Damir Hadzovic.
Damir here walking out, looking very happy to be there. He calls himself the Bosnian Bomber. Obviously comes from Bosnia. Record of 10-3, 4 first-round finishes, 5 wins by KO. Hence the name Bosnian Bomber. Every time you call yourself the Bomber, you've got to be a knockout artist. Look at the crowd a little bit, why not? Hold on.
156.
156 for Damir Hadzovic. And his opponent in the red corner, Marcin, Polish prodigy Held.
Marcin is a Polish mixed martial artist. He specializes in submission fighting. He's looking for his first UFC win. He's lost 2, but against UFC veterans Diego Sanchez and Joe Lazon. If you saw his fight with Joe, it was a split decision. A great fight, back and forth action. Great grappling, great striking.
This is the real weigh-in, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing ceremonial about it. Do you like this way, Gilbert?
Well, 32 hours doesn't sound bad to have to hydrate, prepare, to get ready for a fight.
156.
This is what I was going to say. You think there'd be more of a rush, because the faster you get on the scale and get off, the faster you can get that drink, the faster you can start hydrating, because trust me, this is the worst day of your life. Every time you do it, it's the worst day of your life. It is never fun.
What's the most water or energy drink you've pounded after you've gotten on a scale? Have you done a gallon before?
I don't know if I've done a gallon. That's a lot to drink on a stage, but typically for me, when I
Next
start
up in the welterweight division,
drinks,
the featured bout of the preliminary card, Darren Till versus Yesin Ayari. In the blue corner, Yesin Ayari.
Purple belt Yesin Ayari knows he's facing a very skilled striker and opponent, Darren Till. In order to feel fully comfortable for a possible battle on the feet, he started sparring a lot of kickboxing, as many as 16 rounds in a single practice.
$170 for Yesin Ayari.
so he's made weight nicely there.
And his opponent in the red corner, Darren Till.
Now, a little bird is telling me that Darren Till, possibility he might not make weight here. An hour before the weigh-ins, I heard he was still 5 pounds over, so this is going to be interesting. I think looking at his body language, he looks, I don't know, he doesn't look excited to step on there, but you never know. Maybe he did it. Let's see.
176 for Darren Till.
Oh.
He will forfeit 20% of his purse to his
That's
opponent.
a full 6 pounds over, man. You know what? I heard he was 5 pounds over. I think he realized he wasn't going to make weight. He rehydrated a little bit. He's going to have to give 20% of his purse to his opponent. That always sucks. Darren's a great fighter, a lot of potential. Definitely needs to take care of this, though. I always say it.
And the first fight on the preliminary card in the welterweight division, Niko Musoki versus Bojan Velichkovic. Welcome to the stage, Bojan Soviet Steel Velichkovic.
Bojan Velichkovic here, not the easiest word to say at this time in the morning. He's like a lot of Russian people, excellent background in Sambo. He's a record of 14-4, 6 first-round finishes, 8 wins by submission.
170 for Bojan
Bojan
Velichkovic.
Velichkovic. There we go.
And his opponent in the red corner, Niko Musoki.
Niko stepping on the scale for the first time in almost 2.5 years. Hasn't stepped in the octagon since January 2015. He's a local boy. I think he dusted off the gloves to come back and put on a show for his peeps out here.
2-time Swedish national amateur wrestling champion.
spend his training camp at TriStar in Montreal, Canada this year.
You know, being a Swedish wrestling champion is like being... It's on par with being a British wrestling champion, you know. It means you really...
Like being the Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah, exactly, kind of. Or American soccer.
171.
We're getting better.
171 for Stockholm's own Nico Musoke.
Silver.
Next up in the lightweight division, Reza Madani versus Joaquim Silva. In the blue corner, Joaquim Neto BJJ Silva.
Joaquim Silva is coming off a 34-second KO against Andrew Holbrook. His specialty is boxing. Even though he's a BJJ black belt, he says his specialty is boxing. If you saw him fight Andrew Holbrook, it was beautiful. He caught a front kick, held it for a few seconds, threw it in the air. Holbrook fell to the ground, and he was patient. As he stood up, he landed a mean right hook and then grounded and pounded him. This guy's a fit fighter.
Yeah, he looks in great shape.
156 for Joaquim Silva. And in the red corner, Reza Mad Dog Madani.
Iranian-born Mad Dog Reza Madani is fighting here in Stockholm on very late notice, but as a resident of the city, he couldn't be happier. He's hoping to get his hand raised here in his adopted home city, and it might be his final fight as he's contemplating retirement.
They call him Mad Dog. I think that's a suitable nickname for this guy. He certainly fights like that. Very, very aggressive every time he's in there. See what he weighs in now.
156. 156 for the Mad Dog.
Bit of a Mad Dog in real life by all accounts as well.
Whoa!
Oh, see, there we go. Every time you fight at home, which Reza Madani is, he's from Sweden, it always brings that extra emotion, you know, extra adrenaline
Next
rush.
up in the
You
middleweight
always feel the need to
division,
perform
Trevor
for the
Smith
crowd.
versus Chris Camozzi. First to the stage in the blue corner, Chris Camozzi.
Well, Camozzi's been around for a long, long time now. Fought a lot of the best guys in the division, but really coming into this one, he's kind of in a tough position. As I say, he's fought some of the greatest fighters out there, but he's lost his last two, so he's going to be feeling the pressure coming into this one. Always comes in great shape, very well-rounded.
186. 186 for Chris Camozzi.
Oh, great, no problem. Doesn't look too
And
sucked
his
in.
opponent in the red corner, Trevor Hot Sauce Smith.
With 9 first-round finishes to his name, Washington's Trevor Smith makes his octagon return against Chris Camozzi, an opponent he's been expecting to face for quite a while now. In terms of his game plan, he wants to use his striking to set up his takedowns and finish on the canvas.
$186 for Trevor Hot Sauce Smith.
You know why they call him hot sauce?
I have no idea.
Because he loves hot sauce on everything.
Is that why he calls himself hot sauce?
Ice cream, burritos, you name it. Okay.
And the featured bout of the preliminary card in the
Takes all
Bantamweight
sorts.
division, Pedro Munoz versus Damian Stasiak. First to the stage, Damian Webster Stasiak.
Damian Webster Stasiak was just a young kid when he started karate class, and his coach realized that he was small but strong and gave him the nickname Webster after the American sitcom. The name just kind of stuck and has followed him throughout his career.
$134 for Damian Stasiak. And his opponent in the red corner, Pedro the Young Punisher Munoz.
Pedro Munoz is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with a 13-2 record. This is a fun bantamweight to watch. Most guys in the bantamweight division, they use the whole cage, but this guy just pushes forward. He's a very active fighter. If you've seen his last 2 fights, he won by submission, way of guillotine choke. Look for him to use the guillotine choke as an offensive move and to counter takedowns in this upcoming fight.
136 for Pedro Munoz.
We've got 2 very good grapplers here. Stash really impressed me with an armbar that he got over Davy Grant back in Manchester last October.
Yeah, I think these are 2 bantamweights we're going to see. They're going to meet in the center, and that's not normal all the time.
Welcome back to our Los Angeles studios. We're ready for the weigh-in the fighters on the 6-fight main card, which you can see tomorrow on FS1. First up, middleweights, Jack Hermansson and Alex Nicholson. Champ, tell us about the black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah, Alex Nicholson has fought at heavyweight, light heavyweight, finally now found a home down at middleweight. He's very tall for that weight class, 6'4", fights out of Florida, calls himself the Spartan. I wonder if that's because he has a beard like Gerard Butler in 300. Who knows? But a lot of fun to watch this guy fight. Throws a lot of spinning attacks. Yeah, a lot of fun. Brings it each and every time.
Surprised they didn't ask him to trim his beard a little bit. I know they've done that with Johnny Hendricks.
185. 185 for the Spartan, Alex Nicholson.
That is a beard.
He does look like...
And his opponent in the red corner, Jack the Joker Hermansson.
Jack the Joker has won 9 out of his last 10 fights. Though he's 1-1 the UFC, he's a very active 185-pounder. Moves around in the octagon, uses his push kicks, uses his strikes, and sets a high pace.
Jack the Joker, more like Jack the Psychopath. Look at this guy.
Look at him trying to get all of Scandinavia by wearing the Norwegian and Swedish flag.
But he's a true Viking.
Yeah.
They called it everywhere.
186 for the Joker, Jack Hermansson.
There we go.
I am Sparta.
Yes, he did.
Well, he's got the good 6-pack going.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is going to be a good fight.
Next up in the welterweight division, Oliver Edkamp versus Nordine Taleb. First in the blue corner, Nordine Taleb.
Yeah, Nordine Taleb was a contestant on Tough Nations Canada and really caught my attention when he knocked out Eric Silva. Of course, Eric Silva's been around forever and a fantastic striker, but Nordine beat him to the punch, beat him to the kick. Just a very, very skilled fighter. So, excellent addition to the UFC roster.
You were just in Thailand, I know, shooting the movie. He's been in Thailand several times. He's a great Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah, that's right. He was out there at the start of the year just trying to polishing up his skill set out there. Great place to go. You know, of course, you've got to tweak the techniques that you learn in Thailand a little bit to make them applicable to mixed martial arts. Of course, the footwork in Thai boxing and MMA is very, very different, but still, excellent place to go and polish up your striking.
170. 170 for Nordine Taleb. And his opponent in the red corner making his UFC debut, Oliver, the Future Edkamp.
The saying right place, right time certainly rings true for Stockholm's Oliver Edkamp, who is undefeated at 7-0 with 5 of those victories coming via finish. He has been training in order to prepare for that UFC call, and when the matchmakers rang his phone, he was ready to accept.
$170. 170 for the future, Oliver Edkamp.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty cool to make your UFC debut in your home city.
But a lot of pressure, too.
A lot of pressure, of course.
For a debut.
Doesn't look nervous.
I was just going to say, seems to be taking it in
And staying
stride.
in the welterweight division, Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Omari Akhmedov. First up in the blue corner, Omari Wolverine Akhmedov.
Omari Akhmedov, born in Dagestan, Russia. He's a black belt in Sambo, Russian pancration champ, coming off a big win over Kyle Newt.
I would say per capita, Dagestan has the toughest men on the planet.
I would have to say that they're breeding them out there. They're coming out of Dagestan, all the tough guys right now. All well-rounded mixed martial artists. Got the Russian Sambo, the wrestling, the striking.
171. 171 for
Beards.
Omari Akhmadov.
Bald heads.
And his opponent in the red corner, Abdul Razak Al-Hassan.
Judo thunder Abdul Razak Al-Hassan moved to the United States from his native Ghana in order to step up his judo training. He sort of fell into MMA, and it was a natural fit. He is undefeated with his longest fight going a whopping 86 seconds.
For Abdul Razak Al-Hassan.
Camo boxer briefs are really popular today.
Yeah, I think that's Reebok's latest.
And in the welterweight division, Peter Zabota versus Ben Saunders. First up in the blue corner, Ben Killer B Saunders.
Yeah, Ben Saunders is another guy that's been around for a long time with a very, very good skill set. Excellent Muay Thai clinch, very, very good knees and elbows. But it's on the ground that you've really got to watch for this guy. Trains very closely with Eddie Bravo. He's a BJJ, 10th planet black belt in jiu-jitsu. So if this fight hits the floor, which his opponent has a fondness for doing so, for taking people down, he's got to be careful because Ben's got those long legs. And of course, Eddie Bravo, master of the rubber guard. Got to be careful on the floor with this guy. But you got to be careful on the feet as well.
168. 168 for Ben Saunders. And his opponent in the red corner, Peter Sobota.
Born in Poland and raised in Germany, Peter Sobota might surprise a lot of people when he walks to the octagon in a Jamaican fight kit. That's because he couldn't choose between the two nations that helped mold him, so he chose Jamaica because of he and his father's love for reggae music.
Waiting for a reggae joke, Michael. I saw the hamster wheel spinning
Yeah,
on
no,
the
I'm
brain.
trying to think of all I can do
for
is
Peter
BFI.
Sobota.
He's representing Jamaica for his love of reggae.
Everything's gonna be all right.
You were just dying.
Well, I was gonna go no woman, no cry.
Moving on to the co-main event in the light heavyweight division. Volkan Oezdemir versus Misha Serkunov. First up in the blue corner, Misha Serkunov.
This guy is absolutely huge for light heavyweight. He's so strong, so powerful. He can knock people out with either his punches and his neck cranks, his finishes are just devastating to watch. It was actually against Alex Nicholson, who's on the card earlier. He went for a rear naked choke, got behind him and just cranked his jaw. Snapped his jaw, dislocated the jaw. This guy is a beast.
206. 206 for Misha Serkunov.
As always, looks in fantastic shape.
And his opponent in the red corner, Volkan Oezdemir.
Volkan looks pumped up all the way to the scale here. Had a great first fight against OSP. If you guys saw this, this was definitely fight of the night. Such an aggressive fighter, does a barrage of punches. So comfortable in the chaos. Trains with Henry Hoof, Rumble Johnson striking coach.
206. 206 for Volkan Oezdemir.
Yep. He's a big old boy as well.
Now let's take a look at the two men involved in the main event of the evening.
If you want something, you're not gonna quit. I still believe that I can be a champion. I'm just gonna keep fighting, keep training.
I live in Stockholm, and Swedish people are very disciplined, tough people. When we decided to do something, we really make sure we successfully get there. We're fighters in our DNA.
Alexander Gustafsson has had some incredible fights inside the octagon, but perhaps his finest performance was against Jon Jones for the UFC light heavyweight title.
I've been asking for a dogfight for a long time, and I finally got that dogfight I've been looking for. Hats off to Alexander. That was by far my toughest fight.
His next title challenge against Daniel Cormier was a similar fight, a very, very close fight where he pushed the champion to the limit.
Thank you, Alexander Gustafsson. You made me a better man and fighter tonight. I will forever be indebted to you.
I know I can beat the world champion. I know I can beat DC. I know I can beat Jon Jones. I have to learn from my fights, and from that we just keep working, keep moving forward, and looking to the top. My focus is on Glover now, and after that I want to take that belt.
Alexander Gustafsson is going to have to deal with the boxing and submission ability of Glover Teixeira.
He can beat anyone right now. I have advantage in stuff, so definitely on the ground and wrestling. Maybe stand up too. Anthony Johnson did hit him. I can hit him too.
I'm the fastest guy in the light heavyweight division. No matter if it's the first or the fifth round, I still move. I just put the pace on. I'm ready to battle, and I'm ready to take that win.
I know if I catch the guys, I can knock him out. It's gonna go wrong for him again.
I see myself winning when I train, when I eat, when I sleep. I'm gonna seek and destroy.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, Glover Teixeira.
Glover Teixeira, a veteran in the sport with a 26-5 record. Beat Rampage Jackson, KO'd Ryan Bader, subbed OSP, and KO'd Rashad Evans. This guy has quite a resume, and he's one win away from possibly getting a title shot.
Yeah, he came into the UFC with so much hype. I remember Joe Rogan talking about how he was Chuck Liddell's main training partner.
206.
206 for Glover Teixeira.
Stopped him from actually getting to the US.
And in the red corner, make some noise, Stockholm's own Alexander the Mauler Gustafsson.
But this man really is the face of MMA and the UFC in Sweden. They love him out there. Of course, he's returning after his last fight there with a loss to Anthony Johnson, so a lot of pressure for Gustafsson coming into this one. And I'm sure he'd have it no other way. Been in there with the best. Jon Jones, DC, as I said, gave them both incredibly tough fights. This guy's right there. If he wins this fight, possibly a title shot very soon.
205.
205 for the Mauler, Alexander Gustafsson.
There's that height difference, the reach difference. That could be a big factor in this fight.
Okay, let's take a quick question with Glover. Obviously, there's a lot of support here for Alex. How's your journey over to Stockholm been, and how are these wonderful fans treating you before this fight?
Hey, man, I have nothing but respect for this guy, and, you know, I wouldn't come to this country if this country was going against him. Of course, you know, but, you know, tomorrow night is my night. I come here to do a job, and my job is to finish this guy.
Excellent. Good luck tomorrow night. Glover Teixeira, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, it's been a busy few weeks for you.
It's my daddy in silver.
First of all, congratulations on the birth of your daughter. That must be amazing. What does it mean to be fighting in Stockholm in front of these fans, and how are you preparing to fight Glover tomorrow night?
It feels so great to be back home. It's an highlight in my career every time. From the support and everything, I'm feeling fine. Stockholm, är ni redo? Bra!
Good luck tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex the Mauler Gustafsson.